Find an equation for the ellipse. Graph the equation. But before we get to this example, let's take a look at the equations of our two different orientations for the ellipse. So we have one equation being x minus h squared over a squared plus y minus k squared over b squared equals 1. Now the h and the k are the coordinates of the center of the ellipse. The a is the distance between the center and the vertex along the major axis. B is the distance between the center and the vertex along the minor axis. A is always larger than B. And then we have this value of C, and C is the distance between the center and the focus. We have a very similar equation here. The only major difference is the position of A squared and B squared. And in the first equation, A squared is under the X term. In the second equation, A squared is under the Y term. Now that is what indicates to us which orientation the equation has. A is always the larger value, and that'll indicate the longer side. So having an A underneath the X term means the orientation is horizontal, and having an A under the Y term means the orientation is vertical. So if the larger value is under X, it's horizontal. The larger value under Y, it's vertical. So to sketch out these two for the horizontal orientation, you have your center. C distance away from that, you have your foci. Then A distance away from the center, so A distance away, are your vertices along the major axis. And then B distance going in the perpendicular direction would be your minor axis vertices. And then your ellipse touches all those vertices to give you the ellipse. For the vertical orientation, you have your center. C distance away, you have your foci. A distance away, you have your vertices along the major axis. Perpendicular to that, you have B distance away, your minor axis vertices, and touch all those vertices to sketch out the ellipse. So for this example, we have a center at 0, 0, and a focus at -15, 0, and a vertex at 17, 0. We want to find the equation of the ellipse and also graph the equation. So what I like to do is to start to put this information on a picture so I can visualize which orientation I'm going to have. So we have a center at 0, 0. We have a focus at -15, 0. Maybe I should count by fives. Say 5, 10, 15. 5, 10, 15. It's going to be symmetric, so you're going to have another focus here. And one more tick mark would get me to 20. And our vertex is at 17, 0. So that would be about here. So based on the placement of these points, I can see that this has a horizontal orientation. And I'm going to use this equation, which has the horizontal orientation. I can also tell what C is. The distance between the center and the focus is C. So since the center is at 0, 0 and the focus is at -15, 0, I know that C is 15. I know that A is the distance between the center and the vertex. So because the center is at 0, 0, and one of the vertices is at 17, 0, then A is 17. Then finally, I can find the value of b using this Pythagorean equation. So we have b squared is equal to 17 squared minus 15 squared. B squared equals, and 17 squared is 289. 15 squared is 225. And then 289 minus 225 is 64. And then I can take the square root of both sides to get that b squared equals 8. Sorry, not b squared, b. b equals 8. So now I have everything I need to write the equation. I'm going to start off with the template, x minus h squared over a squared plus y minus k squared over b squared equals 1. I know the center is 0, 0, so this becomes x minus 0 squared. A is 17, so this is 17 squared. K is 0, and b is 8. Then we can do a little bit of simplifying, and we have x squared over 289 plus y squared over 64 equals 1. So finally, I'll sketch the graph. And I'm going to count by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20. 5, 10, 15, 20. 5, 10, 15, 20. And we have our center at 0, 0. From the center, we'll go left and right 17. So that 5, 10, 15, 17 would be about right here. That's actually negative 17. 5, 10, 15, 17. And then for our minor axis vertices, we want to go 8. So 5 and 8 would be somewhere in between there. And then we can sketch out the ellipse from there. Thank you for checking out my videos. Have a great day.